Hey, welcome back into Occupy Democrats. And Donald Trump, in this amazing breaking story, is starting to reap the actual fruits of the treason that he's sown over the last 9 years. Because first, it was Marjorie Taylor Greene pushing on him. And in this breaking story, now it's Fox News, and it's over a very important subject. And I could say a lot, but in this breaking story, I'm going to let Donald Trump's own words and his behavior speak for what you're going to want to see. Check this sound out. I'll show you the story in just a few seconds.
Fake news.
Fake news.
You are fake news.
I'm calling on Crooked Joe.
Corrupt Attorney General of New York.
Deranged Jack Smith.
Bird brain. Nikki becomes president.
We are not going to let the fake news tell us what to do.
Very fake news. You're dishonest people.
Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath.
The dishonest media.
Your organization is
The fake media.
Oh, yes, it's all fake, except I said that.
I don't think you're going to have another election in this country if we don't win this election.
CNN's fake news. I don't take
sir,
questions.
if
I don't
you're gonna
take
call us
questions
fake
from
news,
CNN.
Oh, it's still fake, but didn't I just say this?
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists.
That was just fake news by NBC.
They're poisoning the blood of our country.
Which many say echoed the manifesto of Nazi party leader Adolf Hitler.
Which gives a lot of fake news. It's frankly disgusting the way the
And he continues.
They're destroying our country. They don't like it when I said that. And I never read Mein Kampf.
press is able to write whatever they want to write.
Communists, Marxists, fascists, and the radical left thugs that live like vermin.
He has gone after judges, court staff, and prosecutors, leading to gag orders in 3 different legal cases.
This guy denies January 6th. Listen to what he says.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Why has Vladimir Putin not accepted your invitation, Mr. President?
Every bit of protected speech should remain that way, but we also had to be cognizant and recognize that rhetoric, language, it matters.
Yes, 100% of that. And in this breaking story, Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, War, just laid down this policy out to the free press in America about their behavior when they're at the Pentagon. And if this is not the most dictatorial, authoritarian thing you've ever seen, holy smokes. But even Fox News is pushing back. Check out this story.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the whole story is being told to our viewers here.
Breaking news, retired general tortures Pentagon Pete's crackdown on Fox News. A retired general trashed Pete Hegseth's attempt to restrict Pentagon press access for journalists as an attempt to, quote-unquote, spoon-feed information to reporters in a brazen attempt to control a story. Appearing on Fox News' special report on Tuesday, retired General Jack Keane, the station's senior strategic analyst, and host Brett Baier were united in their condemnation of Pentagon's harsh new restrictions. The restrictions being promoted by Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth could see press credentials revoked for reporters attempting to glean information from officials. Networks including Fox News, ABC, CBS, NBC, and CNN issued a joint statement condemning the move. They claimed the demand is without precedent and would restrict journalists' ability to keep the nation and the world informed of important national security issues. Discussing the issue with Keane, Baier questioned Hegseth's justification and said journalists assigned to the Pentagon Press Corps are well aware of the risks of leaking classified information and the investigations that accompany it. Let's let the video speak for itself.
There are these new stipulations, new rules that have been put out, and we, along with all the networks and also newspapers, had a media statement to respond. It was due today, and here it is. Today we join virtually every other news organization in declining to agree to the Pentagon's new requirements, which would restrict journalists' abilities to keep the nation and the world informed of important national security issues. The policy is without precedent and threatens core journalistic protections. We will continue to cover the U.S. military, as each of our organizations has done for many decades, upholding the principles of a free and independent press. That's ABC News, CBS News, CNN, Fox News Media, and NBC News signing that. Here is the Secretary of War at the cabinet meeting in his interpretation of what all this means.
What they're really doing, they want to spoon-feed information to the journalists, and that will be their story. That's not journalism.
You have to wear a badge that identifies that you're press, or you can't just roam anywhere you want. It used to be, Mr. President, the press could go anywhere, pretty much anywhere in the Pentagon, the most classified area in the world. or also that if they sign on to the credentialing, they're not going to try to get soldiers to break the law by giving them classified information. So it's common sense stuff.
Kind of simplified it there than what's on the paper. I covered the Pentagon for 6.5 years. I covered the White House for 4 years. I covered the Pentagon when you were there.
Yeah, right.
And we knew you don't walk into the tank, and the classified areas are off limits. We obviously were always trying to get the story from different elements, and there was a freedom, but everybody had badges with them. At the White House, I never walked into the Oval Office or the Situation Room. These are stipulations that essentially are changing the dynamic about how to get information and how they disseminate information.
Journalism is going out and finding the story and getting all the facts to support it.
And we know the stipulations about classified information, and if there are leaks or there are situations, there are investigations many times that lead to that. But in the day-to-day, us being in the Pentagon is usually an asset.
They have all these incredible warfighting skill sets, but dealing with the media isn't one of them. And so the education of them was very important to me, so they would welcome and don't see the media as something to be intimidated by. See the media as your conduit to the American people.
Keene went on to say, he added in quotes, "I never had that, but I did have journalists chasing a story of something that was going on in the Army, and those things were legitimate. And if anything, what would frustrate us is the times we didn't beat you to it, and something bad is happening, we're getting our act together to do it. And sometimes, let's wait a couple of days before we talk about that, and you guys are on it. And that's journalism." Keene said he had never seen anything like the level of press restriction being pushed by the current administration, which he said would also hamper generals' abilities to answer questions and deal with the media in the long term. When I was a 4-star general, I insisted that all our new brigadier generals get a class in a few days on the role of what the media is in American democracy. I wanted them to practice and get interviews on how to deal with the realities of this, because they have all these incredible warfighting skill sets, but dealing with the media isn't one of them. Educating generals on how to engage the media correctly is very important to me, he added, and he said that it was vital to the military personnel. Don't see the media as something to be intimidated by. Were there times when the stories were done that made me flinch a little bit? Yeah, but that's usually because we had done something that wasn't as good as we should have done it. Under the new rules circulated last month, reporters are required to get approval from DoD staff before publishing any stories about the Pentagon, even if they contained unclassified information or sources. Failure to do so could result in reporters having their press credentials revoked. In other words, complete control and oversight on the media. Around 30 major news organizations have so far refused to sign the updated access policy for journalists, including the New York Times, Newsmax, the Washington Post, and ABC. To date, pro-Trump mouthpiece One American News is the only organization that has signed the pledge. In a statement on Monday, Chief Pentagon spokesperson Sean Parnell said, in quotes, "The policy does not ask for them to agree, just to acknowledge that they understand what our policy is. This has caused reporters to have full-blown meltdown crying victim online. We stand by our policy because it's what's best for our troops and the national security of this country." Yes, finally, some of the people that have supported this man, some of the outlets, some of the elected officials, some of them are finally starting to say enough is enough. See it, No Kings. Like and share the video, subscribe to the channel, and you guys stay frosty.